Okay, and we also, so everybody, what we're doing tonight is something a little different. We're going live on Instagram as well as Facebook and Periscope, YouTube, and all of the other usual places that we go. So Talisha and I are testing this out, but of course I couldn't think of a better person to test this out with than Talisha. So yes, so we want to say hello to everybody in social media. And we will get started in a few minutes. In the meantime, if everyone can put their city and state in the chat so we can recognize you as well. Put your city and state in the chat so everyone
right down the street
can.
from me, Miss Sharon. I'm in Woodbridge, so she's in Dale City.
Okay. Oh, very cool. So, all righty then. So I'm live on Facebook, sorry, on Instagram as well. So I'm going to wait for Talisha to show up there too. And we are letting everyone know we're live in Zoom as well. So if you have questions to ask, either you're going to be on it's telling me to hide my story from you. I don't want to hide my story from you, Talisha. I want to have you become a
right. Yeah, like don't hide it.
To be on your live. Okay, view and go live with scope. I think I got it. I think I did the right thing.
We're there. Yay! It's coming.
Yeah. Ooh, but really bad feedback. So let's see here.
I'm going to turn mine all the way down. How's that?
I think that's better. Oh, but it's not better on my end.
You're going to have to turn one of them down.
Okay, let me turn maybe that one off. Hello?
Yep, I can hear you still a little.
Yeah, but there's still a real reverb. I was trying to turn off my cell phone. Oh, you know what? I think I might know. Hold on.
If you got to turn one of them off or down.
I know.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's try that. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Can everyone in Zoom hear me? Because now my microphone is muted in Zoom.
Ooh, I can hear you, but you're low now because I'm switching off.
I don't know if people can hear me in Zoom now because I muted my phone on Zoom. Sorry, I muted my computer on Zoom, so people probably can't hear me now on Zoom.
Can you guys hear her on Zoom? Because I can hear her on both. You're very low on Zoom, so yeah, I think they'll probably do the opposite. Mute the phone and keep it. There we go. Yeah, see, I hear you both because I have the dual speaker split.
Okay.
But now you'll have to turn off the other one. Hello, Joe.
Technology, oh my goodness. I know people do it.
I think it's
but you know, they have the earbuds in maybe usually. And I lost my earbuds as well.
Reverb is on tight right now. Hello, Asire. Yeah, she's going to get that reverb because she has two different devices and they're side by side. So that's another problem that she's having. Let's see if that works. And you can tell me, do you hear any feedback now from me?
Okay. No, that's still.
Hello.
Let's try it now. No, it's still feedbacking.
Yeah, yours, it truly is the two devices.
It is.
You can record it and then put it to the Instagram.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to leave Instagram, unfortunately.
Okay. You guys come on.
We're gonna leave Instagram. Please come and check us out on Facebook Black 10K Project, we are live on Facebook. So sorry about this. We will figure it out. Okay, so that's the wonderful world of technology. You guys can hear me again, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, that's the wonderful world of technology. We'll figure it out. I know that there are people who do it who are live on Instagram and all the other devices. So we're going to figure it out some other way. But today we are here to talk with our lovely Chief Technology Officer, and she's all things tech. So I'm going to delete the video on Instagram. Yeah. Okay. So she's all things tech, and you know, we are going to talk today about technology tools that people can use to start and grow their businesses. Want to welcome everyone to the 10K Project. If you are new to who we are and what we do, we are the nation's largest community of investors who are funding Black businesses for as little as $100 per investment. The concept is super simple. When 10,000 of us get together, we put in $100 each. That's $1 million. We can start funding our own businesses. We can profit from our own innovation. We can create jobs in the community, and we can help to build Black wealth. So we do all sorts of education content for both investors, anything around personal finance, as well as entrepreneurship. And our Chief Technology Officer has agreed to grace us with her presence today and her knowledge of just all things tech. So it's going to be a great session today. I do want to say hello to everybody. I see people here from Virginia, Indiana, Florida, Alabama, Delaware, Chicago, Atlanta, Detroit. So I want to say hello to everybody, California, Long Island, New York. So hello, everybody. Welcome tonight. I also am here in Facebook, and I see that Tawana's here. So welcome to Tawana. And I know we have other people as well in the different Facebook groups. So I want to say hello to all of you as well. So Talisha, if we're able to divide and conquer, then I will take the members group of the 10K Project.
Okay, I'm already in that.
Oh, you're already in the members group, so I'll take the general group then.
Hello, Miss Lorna.
Hi, Lorna. So I'll take the general group then, and I'm just going to look and just make sure as we have people. Yeah, there we go. We also have Massachusetts in the Facebook group. We have Indianapolis in the Facebook group as well. I want to welcome everybody here tonight. So I hope you have your pens and pencils and note taking system ready, because the topic is all about tech tools, everyday tech tools that we can use to grow our business. So I'm going to be a student tonight. I've got my notebook here as well. So I am just going to let the queen of technology tell us about things that we can do. This is active Q&A as well, so feel free to throw questions in. I'm sorry?
Definitely ask questions, because I know you're going to have them. So everybody can ask the questions that you want to know. We'll try to make sure. I'm not going to, this is, again, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not endorsing any of these. I'm just telling you about them. So some of these I actually use and some of them I don't. And I've kind of polled my resource group to kind of get this information as well, because different businesses utilize them and different people. You know, you have different things that you like just by personality, how you like to even use your workflows. All of that comes into effect. So Absolutely. That's how I look at it. So again, these are not endorsements. They're just kind of nice to know and get you started. And if you figure out something or you get stuck, you can feel free to let me know.
And Sharon, yes, not only are we recording, but we're actively live on our YouTube channel and Facebook. We have 2 Facebook groups, a Facebook page. So there's plenty of places that this is going to be captured. So yes, absolutely. And we also once a week, we're sending out our newsletter. So by being on this webinar tonight, you'll definitely get our newsletter, and we have replays there as well. And all of these and so much more is on our YouTube channel. So definitely suggest you check that out, and, you know, follow us, subscribe, all of those good things on our social media pages. So, all right, Talisha, you are ready to go.
Yeah, so I would always say everybody likes tech. We use tech every day for multiplicity of things. You might not even think that you're using it, or just so used to like, oh, my clock is on my phone, you know, I answer my emails everywhere you go. It's always something just that you use, but you're not really thinking about how it can be used better or how it can be used more efficiently within some of the other things. And corresponding it to your business is really a big thing, because you don't want to be working in your business. You want to work on your business. And tech allows you to do that if you leverage it correctly. If not, it becomes just as cumbersome and becomes a part of your tasks that you wanted to get rid of in the first place. So that's why tech can be for good or for bad, depending on how you use it and leverage it within your business. And most people are working kind of as small businesses. Everything starts with that, you know, that core you as the main person doing a whole host of things, wearing many hats. So this is again where tech could be your other employee. It could actually do some of the things that you need it to do. So I thought I'd break it down into like topics of what kind of things that we're looking for. So one of the biggest things I get asked a lot of is for project management. Everybody wants to be like, okay, I have this big behemoth thing that I want to do, or I have this plan. Where do I start? What do I need to do? And to organize that from a structural standpoint, that just means, what are you doing every single day, or what do you need to do within a certain time frame to get those things accomplished? And so top tools that are used are Trello. Asana is another one that I like. So I'll tell you that. I've used Trello as well. Trello is really nice. I love the fact that it has little cards and boards that you can kind of maneuver and duplicate and those kind of things. Most of the things I'm going to recommend are easy to use. Some of them, you know, take a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get used to them, they're really kind of simplistic. Another project management tool is called ClickUp. And I know a lot of people now, and you see it probably every single day, because Monday.com is running a very special ad right now where everybody wants to get on Monday.com. And it's good for, excuse me, for teams as well. Trello is usually for a solo entrepreneur individual that is basically doing the multiplicity of the work. But if you really want to get your team involved, or you have your VA, that's another tool. I think Monday.com is really much suited for about 4 to 5 more people if you're really looking for that. But Trello and Asana, even ClickUp, is kind of better for smaller teams or independent team.
And you said ClickUp, CLICKUP?
Yep, ClickUp. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So moving on to design and presentation tools. Everybody wants to create beautiful slide presentations, collateral for the gram, you know, for Facebook even. And so, you know, that's the biggest ticket, is how to make these beautiful presentations, but make them, you know, you're not a graphic designer. I know for me, I am so not a graphic designer. That is just not my skill set. But Canva is the go-to that I highly recommend for every individual, because it is by far just superb at everything. It has graphics that are just amazingly just fancy and great and beautiful, but it also has other functionality built into it. So you have slideshows, you have the ability to schedule, to go to Facebook and everything. So Canva is the OG. It really does do whatever. And I'll give a shout out to Jay Stone, who just became a Canva creative person. She's been doing this for an amazing. She is a brand strategist, a master brand strategist, and her designs, most people even went to her like, how do you do this so well? And she creates so much in Canva that is just amazingly beautiful that you wouldn't even know. And she does have graphic design experience, but she tells you how simplistic it is to use it and how to create wonderful content. And she just makes it so beautiful that the team of Canva went to her and was like, okay, can you join our team to kind of proliferate this out to your users? So that's the tool that is really great. But also Google Slides. I've seen amazing presentations with Google Slides that I was surprised that when I said, like, how did you make that? They're like, yeah, it's just simple in Google. And I'm like, really? I didn't recognize that Google had that capability. And that's another really strong product that most people have, you know, you have access to it if you have the G Suite, or even if you have regular Google. Gmail, you have the ability to access the Google Slides. And they're really, again, the nice transition that you can make to make sure that you can email them, put them in different places. That's why I think that's a good aspect. But like I said, by far, Canva is it. I came across a great one today looking through just for illustrations. We always kind of want to look for representation and illustrations that work for us, and Black illustrations is a great one. They just have a pack called the Office Hustle. It's an illustration pack, and it shows Black people in different scenarios, drinking coffee, at the water cooler, all of these wonderful little graphics specifically for us. And you can change their skin tone, hair type. They have activism. They have different categories for all of the things that you're looking for. And it's a wonderful Black-owned company. So I think that would give that one a look if you're looking for really nice illustrations, because I know those are captivating as well.
Yeah, so I do also want to give a shout out to Canva. I started using it a couple of years ago, and even when I started using it, it was nice, but they have done a lot of work. They've invested a lot. And one of the things I also really like about Canva is I use it a lot for presentations, and you're able to download your presentations from Canva into Microsoft PowerPoint, so that I'm able, like, for example, if I'm dealing with a client and I have a pitch deck, I'm able to download it to PowerPoint and send it to the client, and they're able to make the changes to the text that they want to make, but still have the presentation itself look really nice. And let me tell you, if I can use it, anybody can use it. Another thing with the Canva is that I haven't tried yet, but I know that it does it really well, is the animations. And it's like $20 a month or something like that.
It's wonderful. I mean, I just think they keep going. It's a woman-based company. She's a young woman who
I think she's in Australia, right?
Yeah, she's in Australia. She started this company, and it has amazing. I think she's now like a billionaire, I think, now off of her company. And it's grown by leaps and bounds, but it has such a wonderful, I think, a user experience. They really concentrate on how users would really want to look at it, specifically those individuals who aren't graphic designers. They really give you the ability to make a high quality product with that very simplistic drag and drop, or those kind of templates that they give you. And they're always forever changing them, which is also very good. But you can also, do the things that you do highly customizable. And I think that's one of the greatest parts about software, is that you need to kind of hit the ground running when you go in there, and it really onboards you very nicely. And then it keeps you engaged with, what you're doing, all the updates and everything. So I really enjoy that product. So how many of you guys use Canva? I'm just curious. Have everybody seen it, know it? Is it on your phone? Do you use it on the laptop, desktop? I'm just real curious. Anybody in the chat can tell me, because I want to see how many. I know you use it, but yes. Okay. I just wanted to see, because some people are like, I don't even know. It's on your phone. Okay. Yeah. See, I use it much more on my phone than I do. Yeah. Mainly on your laptop.
I haven't even tried to use it on my phone. I'm more of a desktop girl.
Really? Okay. So yeah, I do a lot more on my phone. So for me, it is truly my go-to app when I'm on my phone. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people have never heard of it. Some people use it on their laptops. Some people use it on their phones. So this is great.
Yeah. Good Lord. Yeah. She uses Canva. So that's definitely, if you haven't, I would strongly recommend you just go in there and play with it. You'll fall in love immediately, because it is a awesome product. So going along with, again, Canva, you want to do something with these beautiful graphics that you've now created. And that becomes that you want to kind of send them out and do the marketing. And marketing automation is really an important part, because, again, you don't want to be working every day and putting these things here and then waiting for the time and all this other stuff. It becomes really cumbersome when you create, and you always want to try the efficiency of batch processing is really important, specifically if you don't have a lot of time. So the marketing automation tools, there's a whole lot of them that a lot of people use. I know we use Zapier. Dubsado is another one that I know of. Missing Letter, I haven't heard of, but Michelle Hayward gave me that one. I haven't looked into that one, so that's a really interesting. I use Buffer personally, so that I will say that's a go-to. It's really simple to use. Story Chief is another one, and user.com, which I'm hearing a lot about. I haven't tried that one either at this moment, but I keep getting asked to kind of go into there. So it looks like it may be something that, again, you really have to find things that work for you, that work with the content that you're trying to produce, and again, where you're trying to automate it. If it's email, or if it's just you're trying to load social media pics and those kind of things, you want to make sure that each of the platforms that you use have a good API for that, because sometimes they don't. Like, for example, Facebook is a really hard one because they want you to use their internal services. So sometimes it doesn't allow external APIs. So you just want to make sure that what you're using and what you're buying is very compatible. If not, you don't want to waste that money. And there's always trial versions that I always say, please try the trial version. Maybe just put on your calendar when the trial is up so that you know that you can say yes or no to it. But utilize those practices and also utilize the help functionality and all of them. If you're having a hard time onboarding yourself, go to the actual customer service and help and tell them, like, I need help to get on here, and figure it out, so that you're not wasting your time trying to say, I may or may not like it before you even purchase it, because you should be able to make that guesstimation really quickly if it does what you want it to do, or if it's just too cumbersome for you. So don't waste your time. Again, emailing, this is going right into the marketing part, but the email marketing specifically on a budget, I would say MailChimp is always at the top of the list. Most people want to just try it out, see, a small list will do just as well as anything else. But MailChimp, ConvertKit is another one, and ActiveCampaign is a pretty big one. I know we use ActiveCampaign as well. So those are something that, and ConvertKit. So we used ActiveCampaign at one point, didn't we?
No, we've only used ConvertKit. I haven't actually heard of ActiveCampaign before.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will say, for all of the things that Talisha is saying, she's given you a wide range of budgets as well.
Yeah.
So, but there's also a wide range of flexibility and things like that. So
yes, I try to keep you in that range of making it viable for you, because sometimes it is like at the price point. And there's also some other additional functionalities that each of these products present to you. And you can use the whole suite, or you can just use a small portion of it. So that's something that also to consider, depending on your business, where you're trying to go right now and what you actually need right now to get it off the ground and running.
yeah. So let me ask you about ClickFunnels, because I have a friend of mine who has really been suggesting ClickFunnels, especially for 10K, because she's like, I could see, definitely being used, but it is the pricier thing on the market. It's the Cadillac.
Yeah, it has a lot of things going on with it. So again, when you want to use a bit and piece of it, it's not really worth that price. But as you go into, if you want to use the full functionality, it is well worth it, because ClickFunnels does work. And then there's other full-blown things like the platform called Kajabi. Kajabi has changed a lot since I kind of looked, and as I was talking to people today just about this. Now Kajabi lets you do a one-stop shop, where now you can host your website, you can host all of your digital products there, all your, if you have digital content that you're producing, classes, courses, all of that can be housed there. It also has your funnels. It even has a storefront where it can actually connect to Shopify and all that. So you can have truly one whole platform that has all your ancillary kind of things supporting your business in there. But Kajabi is, again,
yeah, I've heard great things about Kajabi. It is definitely the Cadillac. It is something that you probably get once you've started and tested your business, and okay, this is something that has legs.
Exactly.
Yes. But the same thing with ClickFunnels as well. People that I know that use ClickFunnels that have a solid business, where they know they put $1 in for their marketing and their systems, and they get 10, 20, 30 out.
Exactly.
They're using ClickFunnels, they're using Kajabi, they're using, the higher level things.
And these other tools help you get to that point. I think that's where people always like,
yes.
Oh, do I stay there? No, you kind of use them to build your business, as also build the metrics to see where you need to grow. Because sometimes you grow exponentially and you're like, okay, yeah, I've grown this system. What's the next best thing? And you can take some of that information. So as you're building, don't think you have to recreate the wheel every single time, because some of this can actually be downloaded and exported and up and running into a new system within hours. So it's not like, start all over. I have people like, oh, I just want to get where I need to go and be done. Actually, you need to grow. and different functionality will give you that as well, because some things you need in the beginning of your business that you may or may not need later. And again, you don't want to pay for things that you do not use. It's just kind of a waste.
Don't forget to ask your questions as well. Feel
yeah.
free to ask your questions about any of these tools that Talisha has suggested thus far.
Yes. So business operations is a big one as well. Like, what do I do from an overall standpoint of just the things that I need to manage some of my day to day? And so I always say, like, you have to have, an accounting aspect or some kind of way to record the business transactions. And that's FreshBooks for sure. It's quick and easy. It's nice. I know you're used to probably QuickBooks, and those are those really easy off the shelf kind of products that download. You can, maneuver them. You can hook them up to your business account very quickly. It doesn't take a lot of, setup, because some of them do take a lot more setup, and they're cheaper, I would say, not so much inexpensive. Calendly, another Black-owned company. Great service, high customer service. And it's just great. I've even used, Calendly personally. I'm going to probably get back on there. And the platform that we have built also has a Calendly integration in it. So it's just that it's a very solid product, which allows scheduling, follow-ups, and all that can actually be done within it. And I love that product.
Calendly is the best, I'm telling you. If you have people who are like, can I get on your calendar? And then you're going back and forth like 80 million times trying to come up with the right day and time, I'm telling you, you will pay for the subscription, but it is absolutely worth it when you think about the time you save.
Okay, there's expense, either there's time or there's money or both. So you have to, if you want to pay for more time, I would always say this is the best kind of thing. It saves you that time that you're not like haggling I can meet you then, I can meet you then. It's not worth all that. When you have the Calendly and it works and it upgrades itself, any of the back end aspects that they upgrade come right to you. You don't have to do anything crazy about that. So
yeah, Talisha, you have a question here from Keisha. Are they web-based, and where is the data residing? Is it on the cloud? Is it downloadable?
Yes. So at some point, it is a cloud-based storage, which they have there. Like I said, basically, it's just your dates and times. You can record the back end and have it, but it is a web-based product. Calendly is just, like I said, it's a scheduling app. So if that's what
everything that we've talked about thus far has been cloud-based.
Cloud-based. And again, you can have them redirected if you want to have the, downloadable storage of all the information. You can request that and set that up in your settings. So a lot of times if you want to have that information available, or if you want offsite storage too, you can designate a path, like say for your FreshBooks, if you want it to go somewhere else as a backup, you can do that within the actual application as well as on your computer. But most of these can be used both from desktop, laptop to phone as well. So they all have that. They have dual applications. Most of these do anyway. Sign Now is another one that lets you sign documentations. You have contracts and agreements that you want. This is a great little app that allows you to just log in, present the information to the individuals, and then they sign it and pull it back to you. And again, in a digital e-signature. So again, you have copies of the records, you have copies of when the document is signed, any modifications to the documents are all caught in this application. So that's always a nice one as well. This is Dropbox. Everybody's pretty much familiar with Dropbox. I use it, I like it. It helps me. I'm Google Drive. It's like back and forth. I have a love-hate relationship with Google Drive. Some people absolutely love it. I find it sometimes cumbersome. It doesn't keep the iterations of documents. And that's important to me. I need to see like the original, and I need to see the subsequent modifications, and it doesn't do that for me. So, but Google Drive is really great if you use Google Slides, Google Docs, any of those things that you're keeping in that ecosystem, because it works really well, and that all kind of goes together, and you can just seamlessly trade them back and forth. So that's your pick of Google Drive or Dropbox. Market research was another one that came up. And I love this one because I got a whole host of things. And this is personally what I use for when I'm researching my own businesses or when I'm helping my clients. Those are the kind of things that I would do. And it's a really big deal. And I think a lot of people just don't know where to go, or even some of the best tools. And sometimes they're not even tools. Like going to Amazon reviews is one of the biggest ones. And I know everybody laughs about that. But if you're in a service-based or product-based business and you want to see what your competitors are doing, it's great to go to Amazon and see what those reviews are. If you want to see what the industry is doing, you get so much R&D for free within Amazon reviews that it's kind of crazy. BuzzSumo is another one. You get to see what kind of content, if you really are confused about like, how do I go viral, or what content should I be putting out? BuzzSumo is a great place to kind of gauge that for yourself. And to say, okay, this is what's hot and right now, and maybe this is the keywords that I need to use, so you can get that information. And user testing. User testing is a great platform in the sense that you can get feedback from the individuals who you want to. You can either get it in audio or visual. You can get both back from the person. So you say, okay, I'm putting this out here. You do a little demonstration and you send it out. User testing will give you that information back within hours. Based upon who they tell you, and they have groups they'll set it up for you, and you can have just kind of like, I would say, little pop-up groups for your own user testing. The Pew Research Center, Michelle Hayward loves this one as well. She gave me this one. I think it's a great resource. Again, it's just a website that you go to, but they do have some other information, and you can get on a listing and it'll send you that pre-populate information that you're looking for. Markets and Markets is another one that is absolutely fabulous. You can just get market information, and it's good that you can drill down. You can have information that you want to kind of connect. I want this information and this or that. You can do that within Markets and Markets, and that's a good one. And another one for collecting data. Again, you want to see what your end user might be or your competition. Airtable collects data for you and kind of aggregates it in a very nice way that's really populated. They just send it to you in an email, and it's just wonderful.
So we have a clarifying question here.
Cool.
BuzzSumo, Sasha's asking, is it for user testing and market research?
You just kind of go, it's like articles and just content when you want to look at what popular content is out there. So you could use it however really you want to, but like how I use it is I go out and search for specific topics and I see what's trending in those areas. So you can actually do it. You could either reverse engineer what you're looking for or get ideas from it. So it's really just a content aggregator in that sense. So when you go out there, and it's BuzzSumo, like SUMO in one word.
SUMO, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I will say so many of you know I'm a business plan writer by trade, and I do market research as well for my clients. And one that always shows up at the top of Google, but when I paid for the information, it really was not good information, is Statista.
Yeah, don't.
So I'm just warning everyone now. Like I was like, okay, they're like at the top of everything. And finally I'm like, it was a specific client. I'm like, okay, I will pay this $49 or whatever. And when I tell you the information was garbage, like don't save your money with that.
Pay to be on top of Google, and that's a whole other thing. SEO, we could have a whole session on how to get SEO, but that's also one of those things. And I always say, like, Google is your friend. If you type in the correct keywords, you will find what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And again, this is where we kind of utilize the community. If you're asking for certain things, we're all pretty good at searching. I do, what I consider aggregated searches, which is I use a combination of keywords in different orders, and it brings up different information. And that's just something that I have learned over the years of how to search better. And there's all kinds of different resources out here that are free that give you that same capability when you're specifically looking for certain things for your business, about your competition. I always say the one thing, some of the hacks that I always say, like sometimes you want to go incognito on your web browser to make sure that you get the information that you're looking for. Because sometimes, you're looking for something, and because you have a spider that has been tracking you for a long time, it pushes information to you that you may or may not want to use. But if you go in incognito, you're like a blank slate, and it brings you the information that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And Ms. Tawana says Google Docs frustrates her. We have the same complaint, because I'm always like, it doesn't do what I want it to do. I just hate that. And I like Google. I really like Gmail and the G Suite, but Google Docs and drive just hurt my feelings. So hopefully that helps. Now, again, these are some other, I call them just ancillary apps, just things that we're doing because we're at home. A lot of people have been asking me, like, how do I, just make my presentations a little bit better because I'm on Zoom all day. How does that work? And there's a great app called Crisp AI, and it's Crisp with a K, and it kills all your background noise. So this is one that, like I said, when maybe you're outside or you're at Starbucks and you want to think and you hear all that ancillary noise in the background and you're trying to talk and you sound clear to you, but the other people are like, I have no idea what you're saying. Crisp AI actually mutes all that and you come in as crisp and clear, and you can use it on your phone as well as your laptop or desktop.
Yeah, I heard about them about 7-8 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing is I think you get 120 minutes a month at no charge.
Yeah,
so,
you get to try it.
Yeah. So, and then if you have kids or pets or whatever, and you want to work from home, and some jobs now require that you have a quiet background, Chris able to alleviate that noise for you, or at least minimize it tremendously. So
yeah, it does. I've actually tried it, and it literally is like, wow, I felt like I'm in a sound booth. Like even just because I sit by a window and I could hear my traffic, it just literally cuts it out. So I recorded what it sounded like from the other side too, and it's pretty decent.
Yeah, Sharon has asked how you can search without being tracked. So
incognito mode. So yeah, I'll give you the instructions of how that, but you can just really, and I said it's so funny, you can Google how to do it on Google. So you just put incognito mode and it'll give you all the instructions of how you open up a browser in that mode, because that's what it is. It's a toggle mode that you can switch in and out of, where the spider is not tracking you in that sense. Another one I know, a couple of months ago, we were doing presentations where we had to, and this is really good for individuals who pitch a lot and you want to have a presentation and you want to present and you want to talk to the screen, but you really want to make sure you have all the notes. So you want a teleprompter, and people have a hard time remembering, and you can't put, tape your words to the screen, and it's called Prompt Start. It is a physical teleprompter that can be used again on your phone and your laptop, and you just program whatever you want in and it'll throw it across the screen. So as I'm talking to you right now, I could actually literally have a prompt screen and giving me all of this information. I really like that one, and everybody asks me when I do my presentations, how do I do it? That's how I do it with Prompt Smart.
I had to look how to spell teleprompter. Isn't that sad? To Google it really quickly. I'm like, I don't think I spelled it right. Prompt Start. There you go.
Teleprompt, and it's like super easy, and it's like, again, you think of all the things, and I always laugh because I'm thinking when I search for apps, I'm always like, I could have thought of that. Like I need it, and that's how when you think about something that I need, everybody else may need that same thing. So if those are those little small aspects. And I think the last one I have is just internal team communications. This one is really preferential because I know now people have all kind of teams. So depending if you have a US based team, a small team, if you have an international team, this is where this resources become. So Slack, everybody pretty much uses Slack in the world, but you have to be very careful, like I said, with regard to accessibility. And again, if you want your documentation or some of your conversations to be secured, this is where Signal comes in as well. That's a great tool to use because it does download and it gives you the information, and it is encrypted. All the conversation is encrypted. I know a lot of people use WhatsApp. Unfortunately, that is not encrypted, and nor is Telegram. So even though those are great groups to kind of proliferate information, they're not always as secure as you want them. So if you're using any proprietary data information, or you're having conversations that need to be private, try to use a secure a device for that, as well as making sure that's encrypted, password protected, even two-level authentication for each user that you have when you're onboarding. Those are those kind of things that are really important, just to make sure that your information is secure, because people hack the most simplest things just to get into your system, and some of those low-hanging fruits are really the easiest way to get in, because people are like, oh, it's just a messenger. Messenger is very easy to hack. So that is what I had.
That's what you have. So You and I and Tawana used a system called Proton Mail as
Yeah.
well. That is an email system out of Switzerland for encryption. The thing is, if you have, so we had some sensitive documents that we needed to send and we didn't want to do it through Google. So we all got Proton Mail, and it's Proton mail. And they're all encrypted, but your person you're sending it to also needs to use Proton Mail or some sort of encrypted email on their end. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And that's free as well. So I wanted to, give people that. And of course, Zoom itself, I know we're on Zoom right now. We didn't list it, but Zoom is another
Well, this is a good one. I would say now Hopin.to. Yeah, it's Hopin.to is a great platform for virtual events. I've attended about 3 virtual events in that, and it is it's secure first and foremost, but allows for the separate chat rooms. So again, you have a large mass of people, you have the main presentation going off. If you want to split off and have breakout sessions with individuals, it is super, super nice. And again, it controls and lets you kind of go back and forth. The information is stored so that you can see what you wrote. If you have contact information, you can easily exchange it within there. I like that as a true tool. I don't know how it would be used on an everyday basis. I don't know what the pricing is, but I've been, like I said, to several events, and I really enjoyed each and every one of them. It was really good. It had video content, so it allows you to upload some strong collateral and have the presentation going simultaneously. So that's something that if you are into, hosting a virtual conference, or, you need something a little more robust than Zoom, to kind of put on something, that I would definitely recommend looking into Hopin.to.
So I also have a couple others as well. We do a lot of video here, and I've done a lot of video. That's how I grew my business plan company. So Adobe Premiere, I bought that years ago. I bought it on like a disc years ago. Now when I upgraded my computer, now they have it where you do get the subscription. But of all, I know some of you use iMovie and things like that. I happen to like Adobe Premiere. So
Adobe Spark is wonderful and cheap.
Mhm.
It makes great graphics, great video. If you're looking for video content to kind of splice together and collateral, it's a beautiful, beautiful product to use. All of those the Adobe Suite, especially the lower end, not the big daddy one, is really nice and very compatible both with laptop and with your mobile device. And I used Adobe Spark a couple of times.
Yeah. And for me, my peace of mind, and like, I don't want to spend 20 hours editing a 5-minute video. So I do pay a little bit more, even though Adobe Premiere is not that expensive, it's $20 a month, but I pay that. And, that way you're able to put the what they call the lower third at the bottom, and if you put your website or, things like that, then I like that. Also for restreaming, because now with social media, people like to do streaming and restreaming on multiple platforms. So StreamYard is free. I think it's free. Yes, I think StreamYard is the one that's free. And then there's another one called OBS as well that is free.
Yeah, and that doesn't work as well with Facebook. StreamYard works much better with other platforms.
Yeah, StreamYard is the one I see a lot of people using that is free and very low cost. So we use something called Restream, and I like a couple of the functionalities in Restream, so we pay a little bit more for that. But those are the types of things as well. Sometimes you don't want to necessarily be cheap with your marketing tools. If it's a couple of extra dollars a month that gets your message out far and wide. Also, Talisha, podcast. You talked about Anchor.
Yes, Anchor.fm, I think it is. And that is a very great small tool for if you want to get introduction to podcasting. It's a very slick little tool. It's very easy to onboard. Actually, the onboarding helps you. It instantly onboards you as you're even going through to create your account. It's onboarding you as it goes. So it's an amazing little thing. And it's good for if you want to transport it to other platforms. So if you want to retweet it to Twitter, if you actually want to take it to Spotify or to iTunes, it actually transfers over to those platforms much easier. So you can take the same files that you have. You don't need to convert them. You just can put them over and use them. And a lot of people are using Anchor much more prolifically than they did when it first started. So it's just grown by leaps and bounds. So I really appreciate that one too.
Yeah, I know when I did podcasting, it's been a couple of years now, I used Spreaker, Spreaker. I'll put it in the chat for everybody as well. And I like the Spreaker system. So what it did at the time, I still believe it does this, is you upload your podcast and then it disseminates it to Apple, to Google Play, iHeartRadio, all sorts of places. So again, it makes you more efficient and it gets your marketing message out wide. So
yeah,
I know it was $6 a month when I was using it a couple of years ago.
So Ali, you have a question. I'm not familiar with TeamViewer. I don't know if it's encrypted because I don't know if I'm thinking of the same.
I'm familiar with TeamViewer.
Are you? Yeah, I've seen it, I think. I'm not sure if I've used it. So is it encrypted?
Well, I will say this. I believe it is. Only reason I say that is because so I use TeamViewer because my computer person is not like near me, and he will come in and he'll like update my virusware and things like that. So that's what we use TeamViewer for.
Okay, so you just use
and
it.
I've had a couple of computer people that use it. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, yes, definitely. Anything remote that allows you, there's so many tools that you can download that are also encrypted to help you. I know I do tech support for my family, and my mother is that person, like, you see it on my screen, and I'm like, no, I don't see it on your screen. So I have to then go into her computer and then look at it. So those are those kind of tools that you would definitely want to use. But
TeamViewer is a secure way to do those types of things. So
I've always made sure that they are secure, because again, anytime you're giving access, and to make sure that that person is legitimately who they say they are. So if they're prompting you, please do not accept those kind of things. You need to make sure it's a unilateral and change emails, all that good stuff before you let somebody take control of your machine.
Yeah, make sure you can turn off their access. Like with I believe it's with TeamViewer. I've seen it with others where it's like a one-time access code that they get. And then like once they've used that code, then it goes away and they can't access your system again. Lester's also saying with Proton Mail, if you lose your password, you cannot recover it, but it is a great secure email service. I didn't even know that. So I would suggest if you get Proton Mail that you keep up with your password. So
that would be LastPass. LastPass is a tool that makes sure that if you have multiple people trying to access certain things, that you can give them correct access or just store your passwords. So again, if you have, a team member that you want to give access to, but you don't want to give them, the full admin, but you want them to have certain admin rights, LastPass helps you do that, create a user ID specifically for them that you can toggle on and off at your will. So if somebody leaves or that you have a temporary person, they don't still have access to your apps when they leave. So I get another question.
Yeah, you have more questions in here. Yes.
Yeah, Zoom backgrounds. I have a different viewpoint on them. Sometimes they're a little distracting. I don't like the ones that move and do all this stuff, because now I'm like looking at them instead of the person and listening. So I would be very cautious, but there's a whole bunch of things like Zoom offers them now within there. So when you go into your settings, you're able to pick a drop down menu of what you want, or you can even use photos that you have of your own. You can go into your camera roll or go into your desktop and select them. So that's always a nice thing now. You don't really have to have a full green screen. The green screens are nice too, but I always caution people, specifically us, don't wear colors that mute you, or don't wear colors that match your background, because then you look like just a floating head. You're like, Dr. Keisha wore white one day and she had a white background. You couldn't see. She was like, what is going on? I'm like, you change the shirt or change your background, one of the two, because you can't have both. And that really becomes us when you start to just blend into your own background. You don't want to do that. So.
Yeah, Ali is saying that her nephew fixed her PC from MS remotely, and he had an ID and a password that she had to give him. So yeah.
Most of them have that. Well, like I said, it is a temporary code, and it actually populates for you, and then you get a code and you have to send it to them. If you hear that, that's thunder, because we're about to experience a horrible storm here in Virginia, so it's okay.
I actually did hear your thunder this time. Usually I don't.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, you're using that crisp AI usually, but today
that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, that was the real thunder. So, but yes, so all of those kind of things that you want. I said, if you're using computer, if you're sharing your screen, again, make sure you're in a secured protocol so that it's not, the ancillary and being recorded as well. Like, you're making sure that everything is, if you're having those kind of conversations, that you need to be completely secure, that you want to ensure that you're having a complete autonomous conversation, then you need to make sure that you're in those kind of environments. And there's a whole ton of tools that'll give you that. And you just check your settings always to make sure that you know what you're getting and who has access to it. And if it's something just for you and the other person, like make sure, like in Zoom, sometimes we can all record. Some people actually use the record of their screen, and sometimes you can actually turn that off, where now you're not able to, no one is able to record except the person hosting the meeting.
Okay. Speaking of recording, do you have a good app for, how there are phone calls sometimes on your cell phone that you need to record or you want to record? Do you have a good app for that?
Well, it depends if you iPhone or an Android phone, because that becomes the issue. I'm an iPhone person.
well, why don't we do it for iPhone then?
Okay, there's a few. Well, I just usually tap mine, and I can put it in a record mode. I don't know if it's an app on my phone, but I will look at that. I can't do it right now because I'm in the thing. But yeah, I have a feature that when I'm in a call, that if I can just hit double click it, and it'll record the call for me. So if that's what you want, but I'll make sure I put that in the chat as well.
Oh, all righty then. So
you said it's recording calls legal, Cherie? In certain states it is. You have to
disclose in certain states. And a lot of the recording devices will say to the person, we're recording, and the person will know anyway, because I had that happen once where the person was like, oh, I don't want this recorded. So
some of them will actually let you know by the number that you're dialing. Yeah, so it will know by the number that if they're in a state, it'll prompt you and say, this, you need to notify this person as is state prohibited to record, blah, blah, blah. So it'll actually prompt you on your own screen before you hit the button, or it will not let you record because it's not legal in that state.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of going through my phone as well. And I have two here that are a lot more like either fun or like guilty pleasure apps.
I want to know everybody.
And not in like the dirty way, but Amazon, honestly. So, okay, so here's my story. So this is a little private, but not really. Have you ever been, so with this whole pandemic, of course, everything has changed. Your shopping habits have changed, etc. So I'm in my bathroom in the morning, and you know how you are like, oh, I'm running out of soap. I'm running out of toothpaste. I'm running out of all this other stuff. Well, one day, bright Cherie said, well, I wonder if, instead of waiting to go downstairs and hop on the computer, if I could just download the Amazon app. Well, let me tell you, now it's like, oh, I'm running out of whatever. I literally go to my Amazon app as I'm about to hop in the shower. There are like 8 different boxes of Amazon coming. But what I am saying is from an efficiency point of view, like I've got my printer back here. Oh, the cartridge just ran out. I hop on Amazon really quickly. So, I think everything is about making your life more efficient. And that's one that for me makes my life more efficient. Another app that I use, and it's really a service, is Fiverr, Fiverr. started off being called Fiverr because it was one of those, you can get anything done for $5 an hour. But now there are a whole lot of independent contractors across the globe who do all sorts of things, from graphic design, video editing, writing, you know, all sorts of stuff. You can find all sorts of stuff on Fiverr, reasonably priced. You can search people by location, whether they're in the United States, they're an English speaking country. For us within the 10K project, we try to use like countries like Jamaica or Kenya, because they're, you know, they are English speaking, and with Jamaica, they're also in our time zone area as well. So one of our virtual admins is from Jamaica, and there's no language barrier or anything like that. So I'm a huge fan of Fiverr, Fiverr. And I had one more here.
I use on a daily basis, I think I use called Word Swag. Again, it's a really quick way to create collateral for social media. So you can upload pictures. They have their own little, kind of gallery of pictures as well, but you can do fonts and graphics and all kind of good stuff. And that's just a quick, easy way. Again, very simple to use. You don't need to be a graphic designer or have this great artistic kind of thing, because again, that's not my skill set. But I create a whole lot of things just in a few clicks. And it really, really works very, very easily. And I always say, organize your apps, make sure that these things, again, work for you. You don't really want to be laboring over all of this, like, oh, I got to work this, I got to work this. They should be streamlined, and you should be looking for things that actually integrate with one another or leverage other pieces. Like, okay, this is how it'll use this, my admin, or this data I can import here. So you're looking for some kind of continuity through your business. And those are the things, even if you don't know where to begin, just take a look at what you have right now and say, where could I make a change? What would really make this helpful for me right now? Do I need a CRM, or do I just need a better marketing with my email? Do I need a full-blown marketing, automation, or do I just need something like, do I need to learn how to, schedule in Facebook? Those are those kind of things that you should be looking at, and just take an overlook of what you're doing now and what you would like to do better, and then fill those gaps. Slowly but surely, you'll get to where you want to go. And that'll help your business a whole lot. And again, definitely delegation is really important. Even if you're a solopreneur, that doesn't mean that you have to do everything yourself. There are services and automation, and these tools are there to help you as well as those people. So please use them. Don't want to just be all crotchety with your money and just be like, I just want to do everything myself. You're actually doing your business and your clients a disservice, because you aren't supposed to be doing everything. Like I said, you need to work on your business, not in your business.
That is absolutely true. So we have our final couple of minutes here. So I want to ask everyone in the chat, what is an app or something that Talisha suggested tonight that you are going to try tonight? Let's say
you're going to
download it tonight and try it tonight, because we are all people of action here.
Yeah.
So
if you have any other questions, I will put a little, something in the Facebook group this evening. And, if you have any other questions, we can just kind of use that thread, and I'll get back to you.
And we're also putting Talisha's 10K email in the chat here as well. So if you have questions, you can ask her. So Koshi is saying Crisp.
Yeah, try it. It's great.
Yeah, Crisp is great. I have to actually re-download Crisp to my new computer here. Can you repeat the name of the last app? I think that you, Talisha.
Oh, Word Swag, WORD Swag, SWAG. Yes, Word Swag.
Calendly, Kajabi.
Yes, Kajabi.
Oh, sorry, I said Word Swap. I'm sorry.
Word Swag. Kajabi is a full platform, so you can look at it. They definitely do great demos, but you can even find on YouTube, you'll see, but it is definitely a full-blown product, and you will be paying a great deal, but it is well worth it. I have an individual who says she has literally become lean and mean by using it, because she has everything from her, like she said, from her website to all her funnels, to all her courses that she offers. And even she has a link to her Shopify site because she has a physical product that she has to deliver. That also is coming directly through it. So she has everything integrated into one product, which sometimes is good, I always say, but when it goes down and everything is in there, that's kind of hard. So sometimes you have to look at how you want to do it. And again, their service is great, so they would probably have her up and running. But I always caution people, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have backup systems if something should go on, and a quick recovery system as well. So if you say, oh, this is going down, they say, well, it's going to take 12 hours, you can redirect them somewhere else for the time.
Black illustrations. I have to admit, I have never heard of that, so I'm going to try them.
Super cute. Yeah, I just always find things that, like, again, it's very difficult sometimes to find, collateral that's us, like.
Exactly. Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah, I love it, and I want to be like, I need my skin tone and my hair and I want to look like me in my pictures. And I want something cute avatar. Those are those places that really do that, and there's a lot of those. Yeah, I think there's what is called Color Shades. It's also another where she has all the collateral of Black women. For you want to use correct images. I always say, please don't steal images off of the internet, because if you're using them for your website, people can literally shut your website down because if you're not using those pictures correctly.
You need royalty-free images or
really,
things that you have purchased legitimately.
Yeah, legitimately purchased. And I said, please don't pull them off of somebody else's or pull them off of Google, or just use them. Be very cautious of that, because I have seen horror stories of people, whole websites being shut down over a single image that they used erroneously. So
speaking of royalty free, I use 123RF. RF stands for royalty free. So if you're looking for a plethora of, don't you like my $50 word, a plethora of royalty free images. And they also have like those videos, how you see people doing those motion graphic videos and things like that. They have those as well, but Canva now is catching up with them. Canva has a lot of royalty-free stuff. I don't know if they have royalty-free videos, but I have seen the pictures in there, and I'll put in like Black professionals, and a lot of stuff is coming up. So Sharon is saying, I'm looking for a site to host my online store. I currently have an Etsy store, but was thinking of a GoDaddy website. What do you recommend?
So why do you want to move from an Etsy? Like, aren't you using their platform to host it? Or do you just want your own individual branded site? Because that would be the question. Like, why do you want to switch? That's my question before I answer that. There are other things. You can always go to a WordPress site, or even now I can't think of it, just lost it. There's other sites that are good. I don't really like Wix.com, but a lot of people find a lot of success. And I will say Wix has come a long, long way. I'm seeing really great sites. But if you want something inexpensive that again has some data, because again, you want to make sure that you're able to capture metrics from your site. You really don't want to just go over something to host it and then you lose all your back end ability to kind of track it. That's really what you want to make sure you have the ability to do, to see what people are coming to your site, how many people, what are they looking at, all of those things. So make sure if you do move off of a site that you have that functionality, because that's a part of your marketing, and you want that functionality for free because everywhere else it'll start to add into it. They'll pay, we'll pay for your clicks and we'll pay for you to see all this and for you to generate a report. You don't want to do all that.
Right. So Sharon is saying she was told it was more professional to move off Etsy.
Sometimes the people are going to Etsy. So that's the kind of thing, you have to gauge. People are always going to tell you a whole lot of things. But if your site is successful on that platform and you're really good at utilizing, just because it has a branded, URL, you can do that in a whole host of ways. You can even do a short link and still give the short link out to people and still have it directed to your Etsy site. And you're not paying for a full blown website hosting company.
Yeah, I have tried to use the GoDaddy website templates. They are not as easy and as customizable. So that was, again, my experience. My experience is from a couple of years ago. So maybe they've gotten better since then, but
I'm a GoDaddy fan, period. So I don't use them for anything, not for hosting my domains, for domain hosting, names gathering. I always use Google for mine. So I use Google domains to find and purchase my domains from them. And also my hosting is done through Bluehost, which I just like because of customer service. So again, those are those things that I always say you have to do your own research and figure it out, because some people have great reviews and some people don't. And I would just always say, if you have a question, ask the person who is using it. It's a little easier than kind of just gauging from the comments. So,
well, I will say I have GoDaddy because that was the service I started with many, many years ago. And now I have a lot of different domains. So I'm a fan of just keeping everything in one place. I know GoDaddy charges more, and all of that. But for me, they do have great customer service for the few things that I use them for, but I don't use them for a lot of stuff. They're good at some things, they're not good at others. So and Lester here as well is saying there are more hosting companies than GoDaddy. He's on Facebook. So tips, if you're looking for a hosting company at the end of the year, you can get some great deals from hosting companies. That's
correct.
what Lester is saying.
Years are the best time. It's kind of like the Black Friday of domain hosting, because they're trying to wrap up. Most people have bought at that time, and they're trying to, make sure everybody has it, and you get really extra perks. They slide in some of the extra deals in there, hosting of other domains, the short links and all that kind of good stuff is always there too. So I just like, again, search around, don't be beholden to one, look at them, kind of cost shop, say compare shop and see what you like and what you don't need. And again, you don't need everything. You just think about what it is you need, consult somebody to say, hey, really, what do I want to do with this? And then make your decision based on that, because you really don't want to be spending money specifically as an early startup, or even just as an astute business person. You want to make sure the money works for you and the tech is working for you, and you're not paying for just stuff to have.
Absolutely. So Barrett is saying YouTube even has royalty-free music for video intros and background music. I just wonder for YouTube if you can only use that on the YouTube platform, because sometimes those big companies like that will say, oh, we'll give it to you royalty-free, but you can't export it anywhere.
Platform.
Yeah. So Ali is saying she plans on going back to Canva tonight. So Ali is saying Wix and 123RF are royalty-free sites. So Wix is for a website.
Yes,
website. You're able to set up a website.
And they do have lots of templates.
They do have lots of templates, yes.
They're very easy. I mean, when I tell you they are super easy, you can build a site in under 20 minutes.
Yes. The only thing is, talking about unprofessional, it'll say, ali.wix.com. And,
yeah, you have to
pay. Depending on what you're selling, some people may be like, oh, what is this? So
it has definitely, like before, I would have never recommended it at all. I would tell people to absolutely stay away from Wix. I've just seen now, like the Spice Suite is a woman here in the DC area, and she had a little shop that she opened up and did a Wix site. And now, she does crazy amounts of money through her site, and it's beautiful. I mean, the Wix people actually have her in a commercial for their product. So it's amazing how people just will change, and things will definitely, they will become as competitive as the landscape allows them to be. And they have definitely, the niche market for Wix is that it's quick, it's easy, it has a robust amount of nice little templates that are really drop and drag, so you don't have to customize everything. And also you have a lot of choices. That's the other thing that was before. It was like, oh, you only had a certain, so everybody had the same kind of the design and the font size and the font color. Now you have so many. I mean, it's like you just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. There's enough for you to just kind of sit and pick. Is probably the hardest thing to do with that site now.
So I want to then do a quick pivot, and Talisha brought up a great point. If you are thinking about being an entrepreneur, or even for our investors that are out there within the 10K Project, the 10kproject.com, if you want to be a member, shout out to that. One of the things that all of these companies did is they started off with a beta, product, a version that did one thing really well, and then they evolved and they evolved and they evolved. So it's important for us as both entrepreneurs and investors to know that we may want all the bells and whistles at first. However, it's better for you to get one thing up working really well, just like a Wix did, for example, and they had enough people having success with that and paying for that they were able to reinvest in order to get a more robust product. And we're seeing that with Teachable. We're seeing that with all sorts of software as a service is what it's called, SaaS systems, where, they started off rinky dink, if we want to call it that, and now they've moved to something very beautiful and posh, but none of that happens overnight. Yeah. I think that's very important for us to remember as we are thinking about the problems that we want to solve in being entrepreneurs.
I have one final one, and this is truly for the entrepreneurs for the 10K project. One of the best things is to have all of your information in one spot. This becomes critical because this is not only pivotal for you to get investors, but also for you to be a solvent company and for you to have all that information from the SEC looking at your deck and all that information, as well as potential other investors, not just investors on the site. And it's called dealroom.net. And Dawn Dixon talked about this, that she used it and she said it was greatly successful and that she could just upload everything. It was all in one spot. And when she needed everything to maneuver, she had it just, like said somebody, what's your financial projection? Go to mydeal.net. Like it was already there. And that is something that's really important. And you need to start thinking about it before. And this is one of those things that definitely you need to be proactive before, because you don't want to just kind of slide everything in. It is truly something that you need to dedicate the resources to put the correct information and the most viable, correct information in and available there for you to be able to kind of maneuver and to keep documentation kind of incremented in there. So if you have different financial projections, 1 year to 5 years, put that in there. If you have your pitch deck, make sure it's updated and keeping it in there. And those are those kind of things that we need to be thinking about. So specifically for entrepreneurs that are looking to raise money, make sure your documentation, and this is where tech can definitely help you, let that be the leveraging tool for you so that you get everything in place and that you're confident that that information is there and readily available, so that you're not like, oh, wait a minute, I'll go back and email it to you, because investors want that information right now. And so even just a couple of minutes of delay could cause somebody to be like, oh, never mind, that's okay. Oh, I'll send it to you email. If you give them, they're very proactive in making sure that they get that information from you.
Yeah. All righty then. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for participating tonight. We hope you got some great hints and tips. And once a month, I'm going to tug on Talisha's shirt tail and say, okay, it's time for Tech Thursday. Let's do something. So we'll come back next month. Actually, every Thursday around 6 p.m. I'll be on anyway with either a new person or a new topic. So you all get more information from the 10K project. So thank you so much to everybody. I hope you have a great weekend and we'll see you next week. All and right. Happy Labor Day to everybody as well.
Yes. Good night.